Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to another video. We're taking my boy DOKKANFEST Majin Vegeta into the Fight Legend Vegeta event. He's basically fighting himself right now. That's what's happening. He's basically fighting himself. We do have him under the 200% leader skill. I'm not gonna lie, bringing him with a friend Majin Vegeta is good and all, as I said, because for the most part the majority of the team, including himself, is under a 200% lead, apart from 2 units. The Easy A Tech SSJ Trunks and the Transforming Super Saiyan Trunks are not under the 200% leader skill, which is fine because they're both amazing. I say amazing. The Easy A Tech Trunks, amazing unit. The Transforming SSJ Trunks, not so good, but when it comes to longer events, he's going to be stacking, and that's literally all he's here for, is to just purely stack. The only thing that is a little bit meh about the way the team is set up, especially for the friend one who's going to be floating, is for the majority, it's going to be kind of a struggle getting him, you know, all the ki he needs, or all the orb he needs, all the orbs he needs when it comes to being, you know, off rotation. And then I don't know why, I just kind of bought SSJ for Vegeta just to bring him. He should be fine, you know, as you see for the most part. But yeah, having him floating is going to be kind of a problem. I'm not gonna lie, it's probably going to be kind of a problem. As I've mentioned time and time again, when it comes to Majin Vegeta, one of the kind of flaws to his whole kit is, it's not even like a major flaw, but it has more of an impact than I thought it would. And that's the over and a flash link. It's actually so crucial for him to get that off, because him missing that ki +3 means sometimes if you don't have, you know, if the auto placement isn't kind to you, then missing that over on a flash link could mean that he's missing out on a super attack, which, if we didn't have a Trunks unit on the team, we didn't automatically have that immediate 30% damage reduction, and we're just solely relying on the 20% damage reduction for getting 6 or more ki spheres, then that would actually be a major problem. However, we do have a Trunks on the team, so immediately they both have 30% damage reduction, or more so, the one who's floating is the one I'm worried about. Now, this is what I mean. See, look here. I mean, it will, once he transforms, he will be fully ready to go. I know I've said so many times, this rotation on paper is amazing. It really is. But they're both ki hungry. But as I've already said, we do have a Trunks on the team, which means we do have that 30% damage reduction straight away, which makes me feel a little bit safer, and makes me feel a little bit more comfortable actually putting Majin Vegeta in slot 1, even when he's not picking up the 6 or more ki spheres to have his full damage reduction. Now, I know having Trunks on the team means already that he's going to be forming at his best, which I kind of wanted to do anyway. I wanted to show you how good he can be if he does have his full damage reduction in a longer event, along with the defense he gets after he super attacks, and then also the additional defense plus 50% he gets from picking up 3 or more ki spheres. Now, again, the reason why the whole thing around his 30% damage reduction by having a Trunks unit on the team really doesn't bother me at all compared to what I've seen people say. And it kind of links back to when I used him. What video was this? I think it might have been his showcase. It was one of the showcases. It was either the 200% video or his initial showcase. Actually, wait, no, because you've already used him in ESBR. I think it was the ESBR video I talked about this. And that was people going like, you know, he's mid without his 30% damage reduction, which just isn't true. For a start, it's not true. It just obviously means run him in slot 2 or slot 3. He can still handle slot 1, but you're going to have to be careful. You know, if he had his full set of damage reduction, if you have the full 50%, then obviously he can easily handle slot 1. You don't have to worry about him. It just means he's going to have to be more suited to going into slot 2 or slot 3, which the floating Majin Vegeta is going to be doing the whole time, whereas my one's going to be on main rotation. But as I said, we do have a Trunks in the team, so we immediately have that 30% damage reduction. And here's where that over and a flash link is kind of kicking in, because no one on that rotation got a super attack. How much is he going to take here right now? Damn. I mean, to be fair, he does have type advantage. He didn't super attack, which means all he had for that turn was 180% defense and 30% damage reduction. So that's kind of to be expected. But yeah, the consensus around him being mid for just, you know, not having that extra 30% damage reduction with Trunks on the team, I don't find it to be a thing. And the reason why I don't find it to be a thing is because two simple things. One, it's not true. And, you know, depending on how your run's going, who you're getting attacked by, you know, what event you're doing and how many times he's being attacked, and if he has type disadvantage, just like the turn we just had, then he's going to be much suited and much safer in slot 2 or slot 3. As I said, the only part I kind of get about it is he's better at being run in slot 1 than a lot of other units that he can go on teams with, which I get, but that doesn't immediately mean he's mid. And the other consensus joined onto it is, well, you need to run a Kid Trunks. No, that's completely wrong. You only need to run a Kid Trunks if you're trying to run a full 200% category lead team, which you don't have to do. And it's not really, in my opinion, a big issue that you don't run a full 200% team with them. As long as the units that you want to run, or the more important units, or the majority of the team are under 200% category lead, then there isn't a problem. Yes, it would be nice that you could run the entire team, the entire units you're running under a 200% lead. But as long as the unit is good or more suited to the event you're running, or just generally really good units in the first place, then it doesn't matter that they're on the 170 lead, whereas the rest are on 200%. One or two units under a 170 lead isn't the be-all or end-all of running your team. Like, it doesn't make that much of a difference. You know, we're going to kind of being in a similar situation for a while at the moment, because as I've already said, we essentially have a 200% lead on global about 4 months prematurely before we originally meant to get the first set from the year 7 anniversary. So you running a full 200% team isn't going to be that frequent anyway, because Majin Vegeta is the only 200% lead we currently have. As I said before, I know everyone wants to, you know, the new thing is 200% leads. Majin Vegeta is our only 200% lead. I want to run a full 200% lead team because I've got my Majin Vegeta on. That's the new thing you want to do. I get that. But running a unit or two, have a better, well-balanced team, so Majin Vegeta can not only perform at his best, but also have better units on the team, so you're not using units that aren't that great in the events you're taking on. Isn't that much of an issue of one or two go under the 170 lead rather than the full 200%? Like, it just isn't a thing to me. Like, and the reason why I say this is because, as I said, the team we're running right now, for the most part, everyone is under the 200% category lead, including Majin Vegeta himself. The only two units on the entire... This is actually going to hurt a little bit, because we're actually one key sphere off the full damage reduction. And this is what I mean. The damage ain't too bad without the full damage reduction. But don't forget, a lot of his defense comes after he super attacks. After you've picked up orbs and then super attacked. Unless, of course, you get the 6 orbs before super attacking and you've got the full 50% damage reduction, you don't have to worry about him. The only reason why I didn't put him in slot 2 there, where it probably would have been a lot smarter to put him in slot 2 there, is because I have the Super Saiyan 2 transforming Majin Vegeta next to him, who I'm still waiting to transform, by the way. I'm still waiting for that transformation, it just hasn't come yet. But yeah, as I'm saying, the whole thing to do with, like, it's just not a thing, and him apparently needing to rely on, I'm going to use an Icarus because of that Trunks at the end, him needing to rely on a Kid Trunks and rely on a Trunks unit to get 30% damage reduction just isn't a thing. Because as I said, having like a unit or two under the 170 lead rather than the full 200% isn't that much of an issue, because that's what we're doing now. You know, would it be nice to have, I mean, the tech super transforming Super Saiyan Trunks, I don't really care if he's on a 200% lead. Like, he's just not a good unit. Like, he's aged so much, like, he needs an easy A. Then we can talk about him being a good unit. So it's more or less one unit on the whole team that I would be concerned with actually being under the 200% lead, which of course is the easy A SSJ Trunks, which, would it be nice if he was under the 200% category lead? Sure. Does he need to be in order to work well in this event? Definitely not. Definitely not. I've done so many videos on that guy and he is amazing, and that was all under 170 leads. And he's also under a 170 lead here, while the rest of the team is on a 200% category lead right now. Obviously performing a lot better. We still haven't got the transformation off, but we are getting 10 key spheres, which is fantastic. And we're also getting a Dokkan attack off. I cannot get your... We still have an Icarus active, so that's okay. So yeah, I'm not really seeing the issue, if I'm being honest. It's not even like you're restricted to specifically running a Kid Trunks unit to get that about 30% damage reduction. Like, it's not like Easy A LR Margin Vegeta's passive. You're not restricted to a specific type of that unit. It's just a Trunks unit. So as I said before, would you not rather run a Trunks, for example, like the Easy A SSJ Trunks we're running now? If you're doing a longer event like this, you also have the Transforming SSJ Trunks who stacks, or, you know, the DOKKANFEST Trunks if you pulled him and got him. Would you not rather, do you know what, even Super Trunks, the Fizz Super Trunks is very good. Would you not rather run one of them? I don't think we're going to die here, because we have less health, which means we have more defense and an Icarus active. Yeah, and we super attack. Cool. And our MV at the end should be good, because again, Icarus. Yeah, and also he has the 30% damage reduction. So yeah, wouldn't you much rather run, you know, one of them actually good Trunks units on a 170 lead, you know, one unit, potentially one unit out of a full 6 on a 170 lead? Or would you rather restrict yourself to running a Kid Trunks because that's the only one that fits under the 200% lead of Vegeta's family or Majin Buu Saga and Gifted Warriors? Would you rather run a Kid Trunks and restrict yourself so you can have him under a 200% lead? As I said, really? Really? Don't dodge this one as well, please. Like, you're literally about to be dead. Thank you. You even hit a crit. So yeah, I'm not understanding the consensus, because you don't need to force yourself to do that. As I said, is it nice to run a unit like a full 200% lead team? Sure. You know, or would you like, but, you know, or would you rather run like one, maybe 2 units on a 170 lead under the Majin Vegeta while the rest is on 200% and have a much better, more balanced team where no one is going to kind of, you know, potentially ruin a run or just isn't a good unit or not that great? You know what I'm saying? So I said, I kind of get it, but at the same time, you kind of don't need to restrict yourself like that just so you can run a full 200% team. So, I mean, like, as I said, like, I've got the full damage reduction off with Majin Vegeta right now. We got like, what, 7 orbs there. He's got 50% damage reduction in slot 1. That means he can handle himself in slot 1, even with, you know, typeless advantage right now. Once he super attacks as well, if we get super attacked after that, perfect, because then he's going to be defensively amazing. And then, you know, while this Trunks isn't under, including the other Easy A SSJ Trunks, while they're not under a 200% lead, at least they are good units. He is a good unit at least, and they are more than capable to handle themselves in a longer event like Vegeta event without detrimenting my team. So yeah, this whole thing of like, oh, you need a Kid Trunks unit to have the full damage reduction, and without it he's mid. It's just not true, because you don't have to restrict yourself to a Kid Trunks unit to get it off. You just won't have them under a 200% lead, which really isn't a problem, because they still perform very, very well. And then also, if you don't have the 30% damage reduction, then just move him into slot 2. Oh, a big 5 dodge, you know. Yeah, I mean, he can handle slot 1. Who needs damage reduction when you got 5 dodge? Yeah, just move him into slot 2, because then if you do get 6 or more keys fizz, he'll have 20% damage reduction. He just dodged again. Mad. 5 dodge coming up big. So if you just get 6 or more keys fizz and you don't have the 30% damage reduction for Trunks, as long as you're getting 3 or more, he'll have extra 50% defense on top of the 180. Then he'll get attack and defense plus 50% on super, and then he'll raise his attack and defense on super attack as well. So I'm just like, I don't know where this consensus comes from, because you're really not that restricted at all. It's just if you're choosing to go full 200% lead, then you're restricting yourself. But as I said, I kind of get it. But at the same time, you don't need to restrict yourself like that. I think for now, I'm going to rotate you off, because yeah, we can get 6 key spheres with you, which is great, which means full damage reduction. Loads of health back from these as well. And I think you should be good. We have like, yeah, we have 432k health. We should be fine, even if you get supered at the end. I don't think, with the orbs you're given, and then once super attack. 5.1 as well. He must have dupes in this one. I think we have too much health to be able to die, especially with him super attacking first. Additional as well, which means he's raised his attack and defense twice. This friend MV must have dupes in. To be honest, I didn't check, but he must have dupes in. But defensively, he's... I mean, if you super attack him, perfect, because he's going to take no damage. Of course you don't super attack him. It's okay. It's okay. Of course, we've already seen what... Oh, really? You got a 5.4 million attack stat. Did you really feel the need... Like, was it really necessary for you to dodge his super attack with a 5.4 million attack stat? Like, honestly, was it really that necessary for you to do that? Gosh, that's so mean. I'm going to save the active. I really want to use his active, even though it doesn't really do much from here. Oh, we're one key sphere off. This is what I mean. This rotation just ain't it because they're both orb hungry, but I'm doing it anyway. I'm a rebel. I'm an absolute rebel. Do I want to use an item here? Your Majin Vegeta's fine. He's also fine once he super attacks, which he will. It's you. What does the 6 key spheres give you? I mean, he does greatly raise defense on super, so there is that. What does the 6 key spheres give him? God. Missing out on the guard's huge. I'm gonna risk it because we are gonna get some more health back. That you're losing out on the guards. You just super attack no, okay, they're both Majin. Super attack the Int Majin Vegeta. Just in case Dokkan does listen, because I'm pretty sure they do. At some points, it really does seem like Dokkan's listening. Super attack the DOKKANFEST INT MAJIN VEGETA. You're not doing it, are you? Yep, you're not doing it. I mean, at least he is greatly raising his defense. He is level 10 link rainbowed and got all of his links off. Additional. Okay, he's not getting super attacked at all. We should be good. We should be good. We should be fine. Yeah, he should survive this. You never let me down. You might take a chunk. 270. He actually took less than I thought he would. I thought he was going to take over 300k. Do I get yours off here? I might get his active off here. I mean, it's not going to do much apart from the fact that it's going to crit and then it's going to give him built-in crits for the rest of the time. But it does mean he's going to do extra damage. How many dupes does the friend one have in him? He has 2 dupes. Lucky. Wait, his link's almost done already as well. Yeah, I'm going to get 1 active off. I'm going to get 1 active off. The reason being is because I don't want to spend too long in this phase just because we do have 3 type disadvantaged units. And we might not always get 6 or more key spheres for both Majin Vegetas. Especially with on the rotation with my one, we do have the transforming Majin Vegeta, which means they're both orb hungry. So we're not always going to have the guard. So at least he will do extra damage here. Can we get 6? We can get 7. Perfect. I think I may do this for the turn. Kind of want to save them orbs, but I need to super. Do I pop an item? I think I'm going to use an 8 just to be safe. Just to be safe. Just to be safe. Because I don't think 210k... Actually, no, he would have supered first. I don't think just over 200k defense for that Trunks is going to cut it if he gets supered. Because that's a lot of attacks to take. Maybe I should have put MV in slot 2. Maybe that would have been safer, because then he would have full damage reduction and his extra defense from the 3 orbs and the attack and defense plus 50% on super, which is multiplied. And he would have raised his attack and defense on super as well by 30%. Yeah, maybe I should have put him in slot 2 instead and I could have saved the item. That probably would have been a smarter idea, but it's done now. It's done now. So far, I mean, both Majin Vegeta's doing really well. And I didn't even need to use the 8 up. But I mean, we've got extra defense for 2 turns, so there is that. Oh, this is great. I mean, we're getting the active off again. That means we're going to get the built-in crit. We're going to do more damage. Unfortunately, because it is Vegeta event, there's going to be no stun. But we are going to do some big damage because the active skill is going to crit. We're going to get crit for the rest of our attacks. We get to see these gorgeous animations. Honestly, these have to be my favorite animations in the entire game. You know, it's mad when the animations dropped. Like you knew they were good when people were saying, "Oh, do you know what? The Dokkan actually has, or potentially, in fact, let's get your active off as well." You know, it was mad. You knew the animations were top tier when people were sitting there comparing the animations and the actual anime side by side, and Dokkan actually made it look better. Like, not only does it make it look like you're watching the anime, but Dokkan actually made it better. They generally made it look better than the anime. This should literally do not... Okay, it will do... It won't... Okay, no, it won't do a lot at all. It shouldn't do too much. Fair chunk, but then as I said, he does get extra defense. He does get, you know, that attack and defense plus 50% on super attack. Which, of course, if you get super attack beforehand, you're missing out on a lot. But still... That's a decent tank. Considering how much health we have, it's a solid tank. It's not bad. It's not bad. It's still not bad. Is it the best? No. But as I said, once he super attacks is where he's defensively at his best. So, which is why, as a slot 2 unit, Majin Vegeta is kind of perfect. Especially if you have both sets of damage reduction off. He's perfect as a slot 2 unit. But as I said, he's a lot better in slot 1 than a lot of other units. So while 240k is a decent chunk to take, considering we have more than double that in health, in max health, it's not bad. Especially because if he super attacked, that would have done a hell of a lot less, but of course we got super attacked before we supered. Do I keep your main rotation for now? I mean, thinking maybe... Actually, no, this actually works out kind of perfect for us. No, yeah, it does. Can we get 6 key spheres there? Even though we do have extra defense, I kind of really want SSBE to super attack us at the end. Because then I can kind of back up my point. I know we do have extra defense from the Eta, but it can kind of back up my point. Because as I said, he's going to have both sets of damage reduction. He's going to have 50% damage reduction. He's got the attack and defense plus 180 that he gets at the start of turn. He's got defense plus 50% from 3 or more key spheres. And then that attack and defense plus 50% on super is multiplicative, which is why his defense will then shoot up along with the damage reduction, which means he'll take no damage. So if you could super attack me at the end here, that would actually back up my point. Yes, again, I know we do have an 8 active, which means extra defense. But it shouldn't do too much for us. Okay, it didn't take nothing, but 100k? 100k? I mean, considering what other units would take there, unless they have type advantage or guard, it's not bad. You know, is Majin Vegeta's tanking, you know, perfect? No, definitely not. Is it still pretty good? Yeah, sure. Now, actually, I might put him in slot 2 here. Because then he can super attack first and get some extra defense, and then I can give this MV his guard, which would actually be... Actually, no, why did I do... That was stupid of me. Why did I do that? I need to be using Icarus anyway. That was actually kind of stupid. I didn't realize that the Super Saiyan 4 wasn't going to get a super attack off. That was dumb. Because the Tech MV is type advantage. I could have left him in slot 2. He doesn't even need his guard once he super attacks. I should have given the 6 key spheres or 6 or more key spheres to the INT MV. I mean, we're doing good enough damage as it is. But yeah, is the INT Majin Vegeta, is his tanking perfect? Is it ridiculous? No. Is it still very good? Sure. He's a unit that probably over time is definitely gonna... Having dupes in him is definitely really gonna benefit him. You know, even having 1 dupe immediately is hugely beneficial, especially if he gets an additional off. You know, and raises attack and defense twice. But he's definitely a unit that is going to benefit from having a dupe. But that, you know, he's definitely not mid. He's not mid. You know, he's definitely not mid. Even without the extra 30% damage reduction, as long as he was in slot 2, definitely not with the transforming Majin Vegeta, because again, they're both very orb hungry, which is, you know, don't forget as well, one thing I almost completely forgot is SSB lowers defense on super. He lowers defense, so the defense that MV would have built up, he's dropped down. So don't forget that as well. That there is that. SSB does lower defense. So considering on super attack he had his defense lowered, his tanking still actually was quite good. Considering he was having his defense lowered. But he's definitely going to benefit for some dupes in the long run. He's still a very good unit. I do not... This consensus about him being mid just isn't a thing. He is still very, very good. He'll benefit with having at least a dupe or 2 in the long run. Definitely. And yeah, him tanking for like just over 100k, considering he's adding his defense load on super, is still pretty solid. And, you know, if you didn't have the extra, you know, 30% damage reduction from having chunks there, Again, you definitely don't want to be running him on rotation with the transforming MV unless you want to risk it like I did, because they're both orb hungry. And he would be much suited to slot 2, so he can build up his defense on super attack or raise his defense on super attack, along with having the 20% damage reduction would be more ideal. But he would still be able to handle himself. He won't get you killed, which is kind of the main priority. He will help you survive, and he'll do some damage here and there. You know, but dupes in the long run will definitely be beneficial. But I'll see you next video, guys, and push.